In this lesson, we talk about current and maintenance direction of each stage of startup. When the mobile phone is turned on, the current at each stage is different, which means that the circuit stage is different. First, let's take a look at the standby of the phone. What is standby? It is to use the battery to supply power to the mainboard without pressing the power button. The mainboard supplies power to the charging chip, converts it into the main power supply, and then supplies it to the power supply chip. But at this time, the line has no current, which is called the standby circuit. The current of the standby circuit is 0 milliamperes. After we press the power button, we pull down the power button signal. The power output from the power chip is the power output controlled by the power on signal. If it is only the power supply output, its current is about 30 milliamperes. After the power supply works, the clock circuit works, and the current will be about 40 milliamperes. After the reset circuit works, the current is about 60 milliamperes. That is to say, when we press the power button to supply power, the clock is normal, the reset is normal, and the current of this mobile phone should be at least about 60 milliamperes. The CPU starts work, and the current is generally around 80 milliamperes. When we see that the current of a mobile phone jumps to 80 milliamperes, it means that the CPU has reached a working state. Of course, 80 milliamperes is the state of an import mode of the CPU. The circuit only goes to CPU. If the CPU cannot recognize the hard disk, it will only load its own written program, which is called the import mode. Let's take a look at what is the import mode. If a mobile phone does not recognize the hard disk, and the current is around 80 or 100 milliamperes, we can connect mobile phones to the computer. Find the device manager in the computer management page of the computer, and the import mode will appear in the device manager. If it is Qualcomm platform processor, its import mode is HSUSB 9008. Qualcomm is brand logo, and 9008 is the specific sorting port. If it is processor of the HiSilicon platform, then it will enter the port mode of Huawei USB COM 1.0. After the CPU works, it needs to read the boot program in the hard disk. At this time, the current of the mobile phone will jump, generally higher than 120 milliamperes. And the current will continue to jump between 100 and 300 milliamperes for a period of time. This is the loading program. The display starts to work. The current is about 300 milliamperes, and the display will light up. This is the current at each stage of the phone startup. Generally, when we study the current to this stage, we have a general direction for maintenance. In the actual maintenance, at which stage are most of the problems of Android phones? It is the stage from the start of the CPU to the start of the display. And the current is from 100 to 300 milliamperes. Okay, that's all for this lesson.